Welcome, Jasmine. So pleased to meet you virtually. Please tell me a little bit about what your experience is or background, and a little bit about your role at Minima.
Hi, yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you. So, yeah, as I said, I'm Jasmine. I'm UK based, although I've just got back from 6 weeks working from Portugal, which was quite good.
Mm.
Guess that's the benefit of working for a decentralized organization.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I actually have a background in mathematics. I studied at the University of Surrey, which is in Guildford, just kind of half an hour outside of London.
Okay.
And I used to work as a consultant for an Oracle partner implementing financial planning software. But since learning about crypto, I kind of fell down the crypto rabbit hole and became excited. Yeah, became excited about the kind of huge potential that it had
Yeah.
to change finance, technology, society in favor of the average person and not just governments or big tech. And so then I came across Minima, and it seemed to kind of address all of the issues that I saw cropping up in the existing crypto landscape.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of, everything just kind of clicked into place and just felt like Minima was doing the right things in the right way for the right reasons. And so I managed to switch career paths into blockchain, obviously working for Minima now. My role is a technical communications manager. So I essentially act as the bridge between the public community and our internal developers. So I'm producing educational content,
Great.
documentation about the protocol, how it works, and educating people about Minima. I'm
Great.
also doing, yeah, kind of internal testing and helping to support and grow our community.
So great being a medium like that between the company and ordinary human beings, I'm sure. So tell me
Yeah,
how Minima does differ from other blockchain solutions, because it seems like every day we hear new companies started. So tell me.
I know. No, it's a great question. So
Yeah.
Minima is essentially an open source, lightweight blockchain and cryptocurrency that fits on a mobile device and
Wow.
potentially in a chip in the future as well.
Wow.
So we're attempting to create a truly decentralized, inclusive peer to peer network to enable people to store value and transact value and information freely. And we kind of envision ourselves as being what Bitcoin could have been if it had been implemented with the benefit of hindsight and mobile technology.
Wow. And how interesting that it's really focused on mobile technology. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what you guys are already doing with that?
Yeah, definitely. So, obviously, the future lies in mobile devices,
Yeah.
and we we think that if Satoshi had created Bitcoin when smartphones were as advanced as they are now, that he would have created Bitcoin to be native to mobile devices. And so we have created a blockchain that runs on your phone. And
Wow. That's really cool.
yeah, no, it is. It's just kind of interacting with the app and testing it. I've been testing it in the last few days, and it's kind of mind blowing the things that you can achieve when everyone is running a blockchain node from their phone.
Wow. Fantastic. Well, I have to say that's the first. I haven't heard any companies in Silicon Valley doing that, although there may be. But that's brilliant, and what a leap forward. I know Lightning Network is a blockchain solution for crypto, but apparently there are privacy issues. It's one of my big drums that I beat, privacy and security. So I'm just wondering. what are the options with Minima to make a difference with the privacy issues on the blockchain? Because obviously that can be an issue with Bitcoin generally.
Yeah, so as you know, Lightning is Bitcoin's scaling solution. So it's essentially a kind of layer on top of Bitcoin where users are, instead of, so on the Bitcoin base layer, on the layer one,
Yeah.
everyone in the network has to validate all of the transactions. And that's the same on Minima. So everyone running a node on their phone has to validate all of the Minima transactions. But with Lightning, which is a layer two solution, you have these kind of payment channels between two users where the transactions happen off chain. And Minima has a similar solution called Omnia,
Okay.
and it's a very similar implementation to Bitcoin's Lightning Network. But as I said, we have the benefit of hindsight. So there's, I think it's just one function that if Bitcoin had would make it a lot more secure.
Wow.
And I don't know off the top of my head
Yeah.
right now,
That's
but
yeah.
I do know that Paddy, the our CTO and creator of Minima, was a Bitcoin maximalist for a long time, and kind of became disillusioned when he could no longer mine Bitcoin himself. So he has the benefit of seeing all of these things happen, and has included things like these additional privacy benefits.
Fabulous. And with a name like Paddy, I gather he's Irish origin, is he? I had a I had a business in Dublin for about 10 years before I went to Silicon Valley. So,
He's actually, I think he's half Italian. I
oh,
don't know if.
okay, that name is usually so Irish anyway.
I know.
So interesting. And wow, it really makes Minima stand out. It's fantastic. So the one thing that I like to ask all my interviewees is how you see Web3, and because many people say, that it doesn't actually exist, and what's your concept of Web3, and where will where does Minima fit in with that new era of financial technology?
Yeah, I know it's such a hot topic at the moment. I just feel like the word Web3 is everywhere.
I know.
And I hear people using Web3 in terms of like Facebook having a Web3, and I'm like, no, that's not what Web3 is about.
No,
So,
I agree.
just to kind of go over what Web 1 and Web 2 are.
Yep.
So we can think of Web 1 as static web pages. Essentially, it's read only. So people could write a website and you can go to that website and you can read it, but you can't interact with it or anything.
Yeah.
So very basic. And then Web 2, we had the addition of JavaScript, these interactive websites where you can actually kind of publish your own content as well. So if we can think of Web 1 as just being read only, and Web 2 is kind of being read write. So anyone can create their own material and publish that online. Obviously, Web 2 is what the internet kind of looks like now.
Yes.
And so with Web 3, I kind of see that as an ownership economy
Okay.
where value is attributed to the creators, the people who are creating content, rather than intermediaries. And you will have your crypto wallet, and in your crypto wallet you will own all of your assets, um, rather than Google owning them or Facebook owning them or a game owning them. So even things like if you're playing a game online and you have assets in those games, those
Mm.
assets actually belong to you, and then you can transfer those into different applications. Or if you're a musician, for example, you would have royalties coming directly to you rather than going through an intermediary who's taking their cut before it gets to you.
Mm.
So
Wow, I really like that explanation. I've asked this question many times from people, and I really like that because it really is showing how that empowerment is being shared. I mean, I remember when Web 2 started, I was in London for a year or two, and it was so great to be able to do my own posts, create my own website. I was using WordPress at the time, and it was to take it out of the hands of developers who were so willing to screw you at the time.
yeah.
You know, and now you've given me a really empowering explanation of Web3. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I've struggled with it too to try and understand what the different levels are.
Hmm.
Um,
I kind of think about it as, instead of logging in as into Google using your Google account, you're
yeah,
logging in with your crypto account where all of your assets are held in your personal wallet
yeah.
that belongs on a blockchain.
And who can trust Google? Let's face it.
No, exactly.
So, last question. Fascinating interview. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about. Of course, the US is coming up for elections in later this year, and I was wondering, can Minima make a difference with voting systems? Obviously, you're not going to share all your secrets, but is there potential for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, voting is actually one of my favorite blockchain applications.
Okay.
So with Minima, you have a node running on your phone, which is a full node. So you are, um, I mean, by a full node, I mean that you're actually helping to construct the blockchain, which is something that no other blockchains are doing. But
Wow.
anyway, on Minima, you can create custom tokens as well as, so we have the native currency, which is Minima, but
Yep.
you can also create custom tokens, and a subset of these tokens is NFTs. You might have heard of them.
Yes.
And so, yeah, and
It seems to be more about scams, unfortunately, lately. But anyway, or
yeah,
people being
unfortunately,
ripped
but
off. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but these NFTs can also be used to represent anything. So they could represent a vote, for example.
Okay.
And if everyone has a voting token, then they can use that voting token to vote for
Oh,
someone, obviously, and then that is all recorded on chain, which is immutable.
yeah,
And so you have a permanent record of the votes, and that can't be tampered with,
yeah,
can't be faked, and it's completely transparent and open. So anyone can check and verify the results. You don't need paper. You don't need
yeah.
to kind
All
of
the dramas that we've had in the
exact.
US over the last few
Yeah,
years since the last election. Yeah,
no,
yeah, I
exactly.
understand. Wow, that's really great. Well, I'm totally excited about Minima. Thank you so much for doing this interview. It's really been an interesting one, and really appreciate the way you're able to, you know, convey that information to ordinary folks like us. So really appreciate it. And I
No, thank you.
wish you all the best, and Minima, of course.
Thank you very much. And
Okay,
if any of your listeners are more interested in learning more, you can go to our website, which is minima.global.
fabulous. Okay. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Thank you very
Hopefully, we'll get
much.
you back on somewhere down the line and to
That
hear
would be
all of
great.
your successes. Okay.
Pleasure, pleasure speaking to you. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks.